and the Gutter Times and the Gutter Observer. And they were all there with their photographers and their reporters, not to cover the housing fair where businessmen in Gillette sell plots of land to my constituents. It would be nice if they were, quite a nice story. They were there because they had whipped themselves up into a frenzy about the supposed attendance at the meeting of a controversial Bangladeshi MP. They told them several lies about him and several lies about today's event. But when they discovered that in fact he wasn't there to be photographed by them because he's already home in Bangladesh, you can understand they were angry. So they started taking photographs of the audience. And photographs they took were very predictable. Anyone with a beard of a certain length, anyone of a certain age, anyone who looked fit, and I mean fit in the sense that they might be able to handle themselves, were closely photographed by the Sun and these other gutter journalists, some of whose representatives are taking pictures of us now today. I mention that because that's the atmosphere we're now living in. Where overnight, the Times, Channel 4, the Sun this morning, even an editorial in the Sun this morning, can whip up a frenzy about a Muslim that nobody in Britain has ever heard of. This man that they were looking for today, I have never heard of him. I've never met him, I've never spoken to him, I've never heard of him. And neither had the writers on the Sun or the Times, and neither had the people who are reading the Sun and the Times. But overnight, this man was whipped up into a public enemy number one. And that's just a short step away from the orange jumpsuit and the chain and the cage in Guantanamo Bay. You can see exactly how these steps one leads to the other. The atmosphere in which we're living is such that George Bush can make a statement this morning demanding that Hezbollah stop attacking Israel. Stop attacking Israel when the rest of the world can see that Israel is launching a massive invasion of Lebanon. But Hezbollah has to stop attacking Israel, according to George Bush. We're living in a world today where 2 Israeli soldiers captured in a battle can be used to justify the massacre of entire children, families, including children, in Gaza and in Lebanon, and nobody raises a finger to stop it. Nobody even raises their voice to stop it. Our caravanning Foreign Secretary, Margaret Beckett, after she got the job as Foreign Secretary, done a bit of traveling in our caravan. She made a statement. Israel has the right to defend itself, she said. President abstained on a motion in the United Nations to tell Israel to stop these massacres. Bush vetoed the resolution. That's the world we're living in, where the victims are called the terrorists, and the terrorists are called the victims, where the guilty are called the innocent, and the innocent are called the guilty, where the guilty walk free and we power, and where the innocent end up in jail and justice in Guantanamo Bay or Abu Ghraib, where they'll be tortured and humiliated and videotaped for the entertainment of the others in the barracks later, in background, airbase, or as the chair just said, even more shamefully, in close prisons, the names of which we do not know, men are being extraordinarily rendered Oh, George Orwell, you should be alive at this time. What a phrase! Extraordinary rendition! What a phrase to describe a process by which unknown men with no name are flown in unmarked aircraft through our own airport here in Britain and in Ireland to countries we do not know, to prisons with no name, where they are tortured in the name of the war on terror. They are waterboarded, they are beaten, they are sleep deprived, they are subject to sound torture, sensory deprivation torture. Who knows what else? That's all we know about. They may be subjected to exactly the same tortures as we saw in Abu Ghraib. Who knows? The United States asks us to believe that nothing exceptional is happening to these prisoners. But even an idiot can understand. If there was nothing bad happening to these prisoners, why are they in secret jails and secret countries? They can only be in secret jails, in secret countries, so that things could happen to them there that would not be able to happen to them in the United States or Great Britain. That's the world we're living in. I gave a speech in the House of Commons this week, but I was not able to say what I wanted to say about Baba Ahmed, whose family have become friends of mine, whose innocence in which I totally believe. The Deputy Speaker would not allow any discussion of his case. There was lots of discussion about three rich, white, middle-class English bankers who admittedly have been treated badly. But there's no leaders in the newspapers for Baba. There's no hue and cry in the media about Baba. And the Prime Minister of Britain did not negotiate bail conditions for Baba Ahmed as he did for the three bankers. This is the injustice that our citizens are facing. Baba Ahmed, on the basis of absolutely no evidence at all, is being sent into the hands of these people who are responsible for Guantanamo Bay, Bagram, Abu Ghraib, the ghost prison. We're sending our own sons into the hands of these barbarians. That's what they are. They're wearing suits. They're sitting in the White House. But they're barbarians nonetheless. And we're sending our sons into their tender mercy. And that's the embassy there. This is the number one terrorist state in the world. George Bush is the number one president in the world. These are the biggest killers in the world. These are the biggest torturers in the world. And it is a sense of burning shame with which I contemplate my own country being the closest ally of these pirates, these criminals, these mass murderers, whose embassy is across the road from us today. Now, Mr. Blair, you passed a law to make illegal the making of speeches like this. Well, I just made one. Your press have just recorded me making one. I charge you now. Charge me with what you call the